All right, we're live in the crypt. Again, it's been few and far between. It's been crazy busy. I was telling our guest that we have coming up tonight, Julie Anne Prescott, about how busy we are, and I know she's super busy, so I'm grateful she's coming on. Few things before we pull up Julie. As you guys heard, Missouri Horror kind of been excited to get this one announced. Me and Carl Toop, the alien 86 alien xenomorph, the alien warrior himself, one of the coolest dudes I know, is coming to hang out with me. Part two, DK and the Xeno and teaming up. And this time's at Missouri Horror Con. I'm incredibly excited, especially with Jeanette Goldstein being there, Michael Bean. You got Lisa Wilcox from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. You got Lee Majors, the $6 Million Man, Lindsay Wagner. Douglas Tate's on there, good friend of mine who just got announced at Scarefest. Congratulations to Doug. And we're going to do some shows. Me and Carl talked. He's going to come on. We're going to, do some shows leading up to Missouri Horror Con. Also with Joe Castro coming to Scarefest. I've been talking to him. We got some great plans for the Scarefest table, so we'll be bringing Joe on quite a bit as well. And we apologize about DK and the Bees Horror Buzz yesterday. Beatrice, I'm sure thought I was announced. I thought she was that we had to reschedule the show, but we will make it up to you guys with a really cool show. But now we're going to be talking to somebody who's out there, writer, director, actress. She's been in so many films. Actually, I had a little cameo in Camp Blood 666 Part 2, which was a lot of fun. And like I said, her resume of films and what she's done is off the chain. She'll be coming to Slash and Bash. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Julie Anne Prescott. All right. So we were talking a bit. You already did a live, and you said you want to start doing lives more for yourself, which is really cool. I think it's a great way to interact with the fans of what you do because you've been doing a lot. You're a busy lady, you and Will.
Well, I do love to actually open this up to do lives because I've done them in the past, but I feel like lately it's been really rewarding for me to come on and actually talk to folks and see what they're working on, get their thoughts on what I'm working on. So I'm like an introverted extrovert. So it's actually been really super cool to come on as much as I have been lately. And that's why I was actually really excited to talk to you and say, hey, yeah, I'd love to come on. So it's always something where I love to talk to everybody and see where they're at and kind of get the gist of what's going on with everybody in the world right now, in our community.
And I've known you for a bit. Like we haven't ever, I don't think you've been on the show, but I talked to you about that. Will's been on the show quite a few times, I think 2 or 3 times at least.
Mhm.
And I've been wanting to get you on, but now it's kind of the perfect opportunity with all the stuff you're doing in indie films and working with some good friends of mine as well, but also going to Topeka, Kansas for Slash and Bash by Keith Van Sickle. Hopefully he can pop in. He said he's going to try to. He's out there in Chicago, but it's a great indie event. A lot of events, and I'll say this about cons, are great. And a lot of them have the film festivals, but Slash and Bash is definitely focused on the indie films big time. And it's a great outlet. And he's bringing in some great indie ladies. You, Jen Nangle, I know. Who else do we got? We got
Devaney Penn.
Sine from who else?
Devaney Penn's up in there.
Yep. And then there is one big celebrity that I'm really excited to meet, Diane Franklin, Better Off Dead. One of my favorite movies. Definitely an 80s kid crush on her. So it's going to be cool to be down there with all you lovely ladies and hang out for the weekend. My parents will be there. I'm taking my guys with me. I got to meet Jen last year, Jen Dangle, who's going to be there. You're going to really like her.
Well, she's amazing. I really love her a lot. I did get to work with her in the past. I think it was called The Last Roommate, and a couple times. But I'm a huge, follower of what she does and supporter of what she does. She's incredible. I really love everything that Jen does. She is just phenomenal on so many levels at all of the art that she creates. So huge opportunity to get to see her and get to be able to catch up with her and see what she's working on as well.
Yeah, you two, I could see you guys collaborating in something in the future. She's, you guys, I'm looking forward to meeting both, well, you in person and seeing Jen again, because she was fantastic. Spent a lot of time with her. She was great with my guys, and we watched her movie. And like I said, it's really cool. I think it's a different venue this year. I'm not 100% sure,
Okay.
but he
Is it the Woodshed? Is it how
if it's
is
the Woodshed again, it's the same place,
I
which
think
was
so?
great for indie because they kind of have like the bar and the movie screen there, and they
Oh,
play a
cool.
lot of the indie films, and it's not hard to get back and forth to it, and
Oh, cool.
people know that the indie films are playing, which I noticed with a lot of cons, people will miss it because they don't know it's playing, and it might be a
Yeah,
big
what I
event.
found as far as like the conventions and especially the independent films that are screening, it'll be in some side rooms. So unless you're really paying attention to if there are updates or there's good like markers or whatnot, it's hard to find out which rooms the films are actually playing in. So that's something I love about Slash and Bash is that there is a huge focus on the films and the filmmakers, and so it's going to be a lot easier for everybody to see when something's screening. They're going to have better focus on the times, you know, the screening times and stuff like that. I love that it's a film festival oriented but also a very guest oriented kind of get together for their convention as well.
Well, it's a great one for indie, I say, because it's not overwhelming and it's a good chance to meet fans that are excited to meet you that have watched your work, but also new fans in the community, introduce them to your work, especially with they're always premiering the films during the show, and it's not interfering with anything. It works out really well. One thing I'll say about Slash and Bash is probably overall, if I was you know, as an indie filmmakers, this is a good one to go to because you get a lot of indie support from Keith out there with Slash and Bash. So I'm excited that you guys are coming. I know you were supposed to come last year and you weren't able to make it, so it's great you're able to make it this
I have the
year.
scars to prove it. I did have a couple random bouts with skin cancer back to back. I have one here, and then actually on my nose. Part of my ear was put on my nose, so that was a thing that I dealt with.
So do
But
you hear better through your nose now?
well, they took tissue, if you look in my ear, to
And then
recreate
removed. I
my
was just
nose.
teasing. I said, "Did you hear better through your nose
Oh
now?"
gosh.
I was trying to be funny, but I'm not very funny, so it's.
You are. I just.
I'm
I
just
was.
teasing you, but no, I know it's a big deal, but I mean, I've had a few friends who dealt with it. Michael Bailey Smith was dealing with it when I first met him, and I
Yeah.
know it's no joke.
But you know what? Laughter is actually the best medicine. That is something that rings very true, and rings in my ears because I do hear it through my nose. Actually, my nose is completely. It's got a different kind of like shape to it on the inside, not on the outside, from having to go through there. But I wanted to be there so badly, but the timing wasn't gonna, be on my side
You
for
got
that.
to take care of you first. Believe me, I know Keith is excited that you're able to make
I,
it this year.
he's
So
great. He's
yeah,
amazing. He's super cool. I cannot wait to meet him in person as well as you in person too. But he's been so amazing to talk to, and he has so much passion, as do you, with what you guys are working on. So to me, that's very important for me as far as being able to get to work with somebody or especially a live event. um, I feel very at home and very welcomed and like family with you guys. So, this event it's huge to me. It's also I was brought in by Dylan Von Harvey, who is an actress I've worked with multiple times, and I love her to pieces. And she's actually home to where the venue is, so she's the one that recommended to bring me on board. And you know, this is a very personal event for me, for sure, where I think there's so many opportunities to have fun, to, celebrate what we all do, but also to connect on a level where it's not like one of those huge events where it's like constant chaos and just, especially for people who just want to, celebrate and be one on one and get to meet people and talk about things and be able to express art and share it. It's not going to be, it's like a very family kind of oriented in the community as well as like family overall for horror event. That's at least how I'm kind of seeing it for sure.
yeah. I mean, and that's I kind of look at it that way as myself because, like I told you, I got 3 events in a row. We
Yeah.
got Slash and Bash, which I'm excited about, and it is a less of a stress show in the sense where you can interact more and in a family atmosphere, and more. Um, what's the word I'm looking for? More connection, tighter connection.
Familia.
Yeah, more familiar. Well, my mom and dad will be there, so we're bringing in the
Exactly.
family and my guys. So we're excited about that. And I don't think I could do like three big conventions in a row. So this
Oh,
one
it's
worked out.
exhausting.
Oh yeah,
I find it. Oh, I went to Comic-Con once, and I thought I was gonna like just perish. They did like I was there for a Game of Thrones. Well, I didn't even know, but they did like they brought them out on one of the things, and you couldn't even move. And I was like, whoa, this is above and beyond my capacity here. So I
it
like to
can be
have space to
overwhelming,
talk to
especially.
people.
I'm an introvert by nature. Like I don't like big crowds
Me
usually.
too.
So, I pull it out for conventions, but anybody who works with me knows me. I kind of wander because I just can't stand still too long. So this is kind of a good convention where people can keep an eye and make sure, hey, John's over there, because usually
Right?
where did John go? Because I'll usually just take off and I socialize and I talk to people, and I've met a lot of people. I usually have somebody work at the table. So
I feel like we're so similar in that though. Like that's exactly you described my personality for sure. Um, it's hard for me, like I said, to come out of my shell, and when I'm in the right atmosphere, I blossom, and I'm really great at talking to folks, and I have a lot of empathy, and I just love to like hear stories and connect with everybody. But when it becomes like an overwhelming kind of atmosphere, and a lot of just like too many things. I love something that's more specialized, it's more focused, and there's a lot of heart in it. And that's what I feel like Slash and Bash is. It's very specialized as to who's there for very you know, very specialized purposes, why we're there and what we're doing. And everyone that comes in there is, has a good mindset to just be there to celebrate certain things, but it's like chaos and there's just like a lot of things going on. I think that everyone's art gets lost in the shuffle too. So I do appreciate that for sure.
you guys will definitely be the highlights there. I mean, it's like he's got a great guest list of really talented ladies in indie right
Oh
now.
yeah, for sure.
And a few like you and like I said, Sine and others that I really want to meet, and seeing Jen again and Diane Franklin, but it's not overwhelming either. And like
Yeah.
you said, it's very anxiety free. Let me put it that way.
Oh great.
It's
I love that.
very easy going. I mean, you're talking Topeka, Kansas anyway. So I mean, what's more relaxing than a town called Topeka, Kansas, right?
I'm
So it's a
excited
pretty chill
because
atmosphere, and
I
it's a
think
cool venue.
I stopped in Kansas City once when I was moving a friend, and I was looking for haunted locations. I can't remember where we stopped, but um I'm in Dallas right now, so these are places that, um, I'm starting to connect more with folks that are working and doing entertainment and kind of getting their artistic projects on the ground. So for me to be able to have the opportunity to go out there and be able to meet people and be able to talk to them about what they're creating, what they're working on. Obviously, I want to see Dylan. I love Dylan so much, and there's other amazing folks that are on the roster that are added too that I can't wait to see. I'm super excited.
I haven't
But
had a chance to even have Dylan on the show, so I mean, I'm excited to meet
oh
her.
yeah,
It
reach
sounds
out
like,
to her. She's amazing.
yeah, it sounds like Patrick's excited about her too, and so Patrick's one of my good friends, have Cheeto View. So if he's a fan, then I'm a fan too. So I'm gonna have to look into her even more now. I'm
Yeah,
sure
she
I know
works
her.
with I think Todd Sheets is coming out, and she works with Todd a lot, and Todd is phenomenal. I love Todd Sheets. He's just an incredible director. So I believe he might be coming out there. But a lot of her work, they just had a premiere for I believe, I hope I'm saying it correctly, Wolf Moon Rises.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I know I've
definitely
heard
check
of her.
that
I
out.
just haven't had a chance to follow her. I don't think I'm friends with her on Facebook. So I'll definitely be, I'm excited to meet some that maybe I haven't had a chance to talk to either. And there's some good ones. You guys are all really crushing it out there in the indie, and you guys are also hardworking too. And a lot of people don't, I'm sure they do know, but even see your resume on IMDb, and it's, you can't just be an actress when you're an indie. You can't just be a filmmaker, a director, or a writer. You got to do a lot of different skills. And it seems like you've done a little bit of SFX as well,
Yes,
directing, writing. What's your favorite thing to do out of all of it? Or is it just, you like to do it all, and when you're doing it all and putting it together, it's cool?
writing.
Writing. Okay. I kind of had a feeling the writing part was, because when I've heard you post and writing and doing your live streams lately, the excitement about writing seems to be a real big focus for you. So that's cool.
It always has been. I was a very awkward kid. I didn't get like a lot of good interaction with people my age when I was younger. And my mom actually had these uh, kind of formatting books, and for script writing, because she wanted to be a children's writer. And I would look at her books and her TV guide. She had that big orange reddish book of TV guide, and I got kind of like into wanting to write my own scripts real quick. And I was a horror fan very young. And at that age, in fourth and fifth grade, I started to write my own sequels to my favorite horror movies. And I would cut out pictures from my mom's like Fredericks of Hollywood catalog and magazines. And I would make my own cast and like glue it on there, like glue stick it on there. And kids in I don't know how they even got a hold of it. I think I was probably working on one when I was in class. They passed around in class and like, oh, can we die in your movie? Can we die? Like we literally, this was early 90s, so kind of morbid, but a teacher found it. She turned it into the principal, and the principal called my mom in and was like, oh, it's very well written, but we're kind of disturbed with the content. But they ended up giving me an award to represent my school. We had every year you would have one kid that represented each subject matter, like math, science, and I got to represent and walk for my whole school to represent the subject of writing. It's the only thing I've ever won. I have this beat up little trophy. I still have it to this day. But so I was writing sequels to my favorite horror movies, but I was a kid, so I was kind of just like moving things around with the ideas of things that I saw. And then I started writing my own scripts in my early 20s. And I have so many written down and things that I've come up with over the years that I really feel like writing is a escape for me. It's something that's very personal. It's something that is something that I kind of like jump into and delve into personally, because I have so much connection with these characters and what I'm writing for whatever reason might be at the time. So I love acting. I would say acting would come next after writing, because I love to be other people's characters, but and to delve into their worlds and bring something to life. But writing, I like to create for other people, but it's always been part of my nature. Is I like to be involved with people that I care about and that I respect or I see talent in. So it's a way of having like a group of friends or a group of people that you consider your circle, even for just a moment. So both those sides of the coin, I think, would be most important to me.
Well, that's cool. It sounds like you're ahead of the game with the writing anyway. Sounds
I
like
love
you've
it.
got a bunch of scripts already. It's like, you know what, if I want to do this, and I'm sure there's probably for every writer, every artist, it's always like, all right, I'm going to get back into this. I'm going to tweak this. I'm going to tweak that. Do you still do that with some of your stuff? It's never really done. You go
Oh, it's
back.
a stack. It's like a stack process. I'll say the first film that I ever wrote, um, well, it's not a film yet, but the first script I wrote is I had it almost completely finished, and then I went through a life change. And this was in the early 2000s, and you're not thinking about, oh, I got to get my stuff off of a drive or off of a computer. It's not that easy. We don't have clouds. We didn't have clouds then. We didn't have, stuff like that. So I lost it and I had to start over. And then I had like brain block because I couldn't just kind of go back into that world. So that one's really important to me. But, to go back in there and kind of like get it back from the ground up, it was hard to take that because, you
You got to
didn't
be in
face
that
that.
mental state to kind of put the passion into the
Yeah,
writing instead of just trying to rewrite it, which
exactly.
takes a lot of the passion out of it. It's like, feels like I just did this.
Yeah, it felt cold the second time around because I
Yeah.
was trying to recreate something I already had in my mind, but it didn't come out the same way. So that one's kind of still in limbo. That's going to be like something that's a huge goal for mine later on down the road. But that one, because of what I went through with it, it's going to take a long time. It's something very special to me. But I would say that as far as some of these other monsters, they came out like this and they're just ready to roll and they're ready to rock and roll and
Well,
come
now you
out.
have cloud storage.
Well, this is my storage. These, I actually got these from Party City when they went out of
Oh,
business.
well, now you just keep them safe. As long as you keep them fireproof in a fireproof safe or something like
I
that,
have
you'll be
horrible
good.
handwriting, but I can kind
You
of
can read
decipher
it.
what
As
I
long
was
as you can
doing.
read it, well, that's extra security as well. Nobody's going to be able to
I don't
steal it
trust the
because it's a
computer
device.
anymore. I do the old school. I put them in composition notebooks. I put them in things like this, my ideas. Because ever since then, I was like, well, I can't trust technology, which I don't really trust technology. So
Yeah,
I write them down. I get them back in that kind of format, which is where I started from. I had horrible handwriting as a kid too. So what's the difference? But you know, I'm happy to have them. But on what I'm working on now is trying to bring some of them off the pages and kind of put them together. I was going to do an anthology because I love anthologies, but
yeah,
um, maybe I will someday. But I figured actually I had another idea where I was like, well, a couple of them could probably exist in the same universe, so let them come out to play together. So
yeah. I'm a big fan of anthologies too. I mean, I just love that. You can get to the point. You get to do these small stories to add them up to do all these the creep show.
yeah,
Stuff like that. I just really, really just love those kind of things because it's not too drawn out. And even if you don't
yeah.
love the one story, the next one might be really good. They usually tie in so well. I don't know. I'm with you though. I do love the anthology type movies. I've always have, and I always found them a lot of fun. So I hope you do an anthology.
I think with this one, I'll tease at it where I'm not going to name any other movies I've watched recently, but they'll do like a title card throughout the movie to kind of break it up where it's not like a true anthology, but it does break the story into pieces. And I'm teasing on something I'm doing that with because we have three main monsters, so I might do something where it breaks it into pieces but it's
It
not like a
ties
true
in.
anthology where it's not like broken completely in story compartments. Um, but I do want to give some life to these monsters. They've meant so much to me over the years. I have a very monstrous mind. I have very vivid nightmares where, I mean, some people might be afraid of it, but I love they're very cinematic.
Let
I've
me
always
get my
had,
notepad and pen.
they're free horror
Yeah,
movies for
yeah,
me. So
yeah. I'm
I
like
love,
that too. There's nothing like waking up from a scary dream and being like, man, that scared the shit out of me. It was awesome.
right?
It's awesome. I loved it.
I go to notepad. I'm like, da 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 da, whatever I can, like, I'll even say like sentences that don't make sense, just to, like, jar my mind when I wake up. I'm like, okay, we're gonna write this down. So it's like alien from this or from the clouds, and this person, a zombie came up and ate, a carrot, whatever the heck was in my mind at the time, just to like jar my mind so I don't lose it. Because the more you're awake after you, have these dreams, the more you forget them.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you forget them pretty quickly. It's like, oh, that was so good. And then you're like, what was it? I don't remember, but it was damn good. Damn good. I'm with you. I that's where I have trouble. Like my brain don't quite work where I can take it from here and write it down. Same thing like if I'm playing guitar, drums, I cannot think about it. I just got to either do it or I don't.
right.
I can't stop what I'm doing and then or I forget everything. I cannot walk and chew gum. So I'm very off the
I
cuff.
can't either. I can't.
Kind of,
I used to play, what is it? That band game where you were like drumming and stuff.
oh,
I can't do stuff
oh,
like
I
that.
rock band or whatever,
Rock
Guitar
band, yeah.
Hero.
So, and I can never do something with both of my hands and stuff like
I
that. I'm
saw,
always
I
like
saw
over here
people
and over
doing it. I had
there.
fun with the drums. It's like this isn't freaking drumming. This is trying to. This doesn't make any freaking sense. I was done.
No,
Talk
I
about
couldn't
wanting to
even do
go.
that.
I was ready to smash the guitar.
I didn't like the guitar either. I just did like
No.
karaoke. That's the best I
Well,
could
I
do.
love guitar. I just don't love the Guitar Hero guitar.
Oh,
Trying
the
to
buttons were so not.
I can't look at a screen and figure it out. I mean, I have trouble. I mean, I was an old school gamer too, so two buttons is good. Like I try to play games once in a while now, and I suck at them because now you got 50 buttons on it.
It's like red, green, orange, red. I'm like, what is happening?
I need A, B, up, down, left, right, and that's it. Maybe a start button.
That's the foundation for all music, though.
Simple man, yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, that's about where I'm at. Very easy and very simple. But
That's how I feel. I can't do complicated. As far as video games, I still play the same video games I've always played. I still play The Sims. I still play this game called oh gosh, what is it called? Of course I can't remember it now. But there's like a horror game I always have played forever. Ghostmaster. It's called Ghostmaster.
I've
They
never
were
heard of
supposed to have actually on Kickstarter or something back in the day a sequel, It's called Ghostmaster. You can play it if you have Steam. I love Ghostmaster because every level was like a horror movie. They had like a sorority level, they had an Evil Dead level, they had like a Ghostbusters level. So Ghostmaster, and I'm not, no one's telling me to say this. I actually really love that game and I'll play it over and over again. It's only on Steam, but
Really?
I played the same things over and over again. I think the newest thing I played was that Hello Kitty Island. So,
Phew, that's some dangerous gaming right there.
right?
I can't imagine how you die in that game.
Oh, Hello Kitty Island. I don't know. They won't even let me. At least
Uh,
with The Sims, you could build a swimming pool and you could take the ladder out. So
Take the water out and hit the diving
the
board, huh?
ladder, like that, you just, or you could actually, to get some of my Sims to die, it's very morbid. I would build like the walls around them, and they had nothing in there, and they were just forced to like be.
The Sims is addictive. I mean, it must have been 20 years ago. I mean, it had to be like early 2000s, and I
Yeah,
played like Sims, and it
they
is
have werewolves
addictive.
and vampires too. They have those
Well,
expansions.
now they do. I mean, I'm talking, I probably played like the first one or maybe the second one. I mean, I don't know how they've been out around for, but it is addictive. It's like the daily life, and it's really stupid when you think about it. Like when I was done with the game, I go, that's the stupidest thing I ever did. I just spent 8 hours a day living a life.
Exactly. You have to get them to work. It's
Yeah,
literally
it was
living
just
like a
bizarre.
person.
It's like I don't
You know
want to
what's
go to
worse
work.
is
I gotta get to work on The Sims. I can't go to my job. It's ridiculous.
what's worse is one of the first games I remember playing was SimCity, and all I wanted to do was get the alien and the tornado. I would just want to destroy everything I built. It was all about the natural disasters, which is very dark, but I loved on SimCity back in the 90s. Just creating natural disasters and destroying the
So
cities I just
what
built.
was your end game? The post-apocalypse?
I could never get it, but I sure did the tornadoes, and I did everything I could to destroy whatever I had built. It was just so sad and morbid, but it was fun.
You playing God. Spiting those evil little
I was
people
like, "You're
there.
not paying your bills today, SimCity. This is gone. It's all gone now."
You get a
Aliens. They had
tornado.
an
You
option
get a
to bring
tornado. You
aliens
get an
in there, and I was
earthquake.
like, "That's admirable that you're bringing aliens into a game like SimCity."
But yeah, it sounds like it's expanded. I mean, it seems like, well, I've already working 24/7, and then I'm doing the Doomsday Script stuff. What's not? I might as well pick up a Sims game and add another full-time job because that's what
Right?
that game is. When I played it, by
It
the time we're done
is.
with it, it's like, yeah, I just worked a bunch of weeks straight. I didn't get a real paycheck at all.
And then it's so time consuming too to actually like
I had to make
do
dinner.
something
I had
in
to get
there.
up in the morning. I had to exercise. I had
Yeah.
to do this. And I mean, it was tough. It wasn't an easy game.
And
I
they want
got
you
a
to
lot of great
socialize and
benefits.
have a family. It's like this is all like
My
fake.
wife
I
left
don't
me
have
in the
time for
game.
my
She
life. I
left
can't
me.
even make my dinner because I'm trying to make dinner for my sim, and my sim also has to like level up at like reading a book to be able to get the logic skill up. And man, it's tedious, but I'm not gonna lie, I still go on there sometimes, and I just I love the Mortal Kombat's another one where I just that's something that I mean, I get stuck on the same things. World of Warcraft is another one. I know they have new things out, but that's another one where I'll start over with that one over and over too. But those
I
are my
never got
favorite
into that
games.
one, but I know it was really, exciting. I mean, the closest I got to knowing anything about World of Warcraft was watching the South Park episode.
Oh God, that was so good.
That was a good one.
I
But
refrained from watching the movie because there was just no way I was going to watch that movie. It just wasn't gonna.
I heard it was good, but I never watched it though either. I heard for a movie it was all right. That's what I heard, but I might be wrong. I mean, it looks
I
interesting, but I got like ADD now, where it's
Yeah,
so hard to really pick a movie now, unless it's somebody I know and I like now, and it's like I want to check out your movie because I'm so busy in life. It's got to really like I'll start sitting down for a movie, and then something happens, this happens, that.
right.
So I just tend to watch it. Look, my thing now is watching Twilight Zone on a loop because I can, I know
Okay.
every episode. I love the Twilight Zone because even
Yeah.
the Three-Eyed Demon, that's from, that one episode,
Oh,
the
that's
three
so
eyes.
cool. Oh
So
wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was definitely influenced by, the Twilight Zone and the Venus guy. So in the cafe. So yeah, it's definitely, but it's been inspired by a lot of things, but it's a nice touch, but it's definitely Twilight Zone. I mean, everything was in Twilight Zone and Alfred Hitchcock. No
Yes.
wrong. You can't go wrong.
Honestly, it's comfort food for people too. Um, I know that whenever I want to have an escape from things, I actually on Shutter they did that Joe Bob Briggs, like the last drive-in, not the newer episodes, but the original one where they first brought it back. And I will literally I'll put that on and I will make a pillow tent, like a pillow fortress out here by myself in the living room and put it on so I wake up and I like kind of hear. It's funny because the last time I did it, Pieces came on, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a great scene. And I'm just like laying on the floor in a pillow tent listening to Pieces in the background.
But you
Things,
remember, I mean, I'll fall asleep
yeah,
to certain things. Like I said, I'm on the Twilight Zone thing. I'll go through certain shows and I'll just cycle them, cycle them, cycle them, cycle them, cycle them.
yeah.
All right, let's move on to another one. And there's certain things that doesn't matter what I'm doing, I can turn on. And I like to watch things. I don't like to miss an instance of a movie. I like to try to find every detail. So it's really hard to watch a movie, but
Yeah.
it's something I've seen before, and I always like to watch it. The Thing is a great one, John
Oh
Carpenter.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's a movie I can just watch over and over and over again because I love that movie. I always say Halloween's my favorite, and it is, but I think that The Thing is right up there, though. I mean, if it might even, in a sense, I mean, it's a more exciting movie in a sense from beginning to end. Um,
I watched Halloween, the original, in theater last year because we do have like Galaxy out here and some other ones. Flicks Brewhouse is another one where they do show classic films, especially during fall time. And actually, I just saw Seven again recently in the theater, which was crazy to see. But when you rewatch things, you have different eyes from when you first saw it. So I think that your perspective changes too. Like, I think that your favorite can change over time, but something that was influential will always, you can always, you know, kind of credit that as being influential. Like, my favorite, not my favorite, it's not my favorite anymore. I love it. The most influential to me in my life was Nightmare on Elm Street. It was the most influential at the time. It will always be that and Jaws 3D.
yeah, Jaws 3D. Well, I thought you were gonna go one, maybe even two, but you went all the way to 3D,
It's
huh?
because it's the first one that I watched as a kid that I
Yeah.
have a memory. I had the big TV with the wooden legs, and it was in my room. Somehow they moved into my room. I remember hiding it, and I was watching it. I was from Florida. I'm from Tampa, Florida, Clearwater, Florida, actually, Clearwater, St. Pete. And I had been to SeaWorld, and somehow, like Jaws 3D always stuck with me because I was from there, and I just fell in love with horror as like a kind of odd child anyway that gravitated towards things that would always it was exciting to be scared. I always just kind of gravitated towards anything that was creepy and horror related. But so Jaws 3D was because of where I grew up. It was something
But
that
it,
was very special. But Nightmare on
but
Elm
it's
Street's the
also
one that I would
Jaws
skip
3D
school to watch.
was one of those films where they really hyped it up. I mean, like, even though it wasn't the best one in the series, well, it depends on who you ask. If you ask you, it's the best one. But there was so
It
much
is.
to it and so much hype with the 3D thing, especially in the 80s at that time.
The
You
shark was so slow, and I can understand why people would say it, but to me, I'm like, it was just the best. It was the best for me.
And what was definitely better than Jaws Revenge.
Oh gosh, no.
That one was really bad. That was a real rough watch. That was probably the toughest film I've ever had to watch in a while because even three, as bad as it is, or not as it's not to me. It's
It's
just like
bad,
it's
but
not. Well,
it's
it's not like Jaws 1 and 2.
no.
Jaws 2 is definitely an underrated sequel. It's really
When you
good.
have a shark like that's like this, and it's just like the baby shark is flipping over, and you have like
Well,
all these other weird
but
exchanges. I
that,
mean, three is not a great film, but
but
for
that
me, it's very special.
well, in at least the first two, they kind of understood the shark just wasn't working, and
Yeah, right.
they did, the Michael Myers thing where you more sense that he was there and you more sense the violence than you
They
actually
embraced it
saw.
in three. They're just like, let's
Yeah.
go.
They're like, all right, well, if it's not going to work in the first two, we're going to go all out bad with it and wait till you see that 3D explosion at the end. It's going to blow your mind.
I remember I was in that tube too. They had a tube like that. Did I make that up? No, I remember being there with my friends like years later. Like in my early, like 11 or 12 years old, they had like the observation tube that you went through. And I was like, am I imagining it? Because I remember my friend was afraid of sharks and he's like, let's run through. He's like, I don't want to be in here for too long. And I was like, is that because of the movie or is it just like a phobia? I was
It's
there
a
like
movie.
ready to
That
be
movie
there.
caused a lot of people not to want to go into the water. It never bothered me until the older I got. Now it's kind of like, you know what? I'm all set with going in the ocean. I'm good. I'm good. I tried surfing. I lived in Florida for a while too. So,
Okay.
I did the thing, and now the older I get, it's like there's too many things that can hurt me. Every time I see something that's in
The
the ocean, it's like,
Kraken.
all right. I survived almost 50 years with, doing some ocean stuff. Now I'm retired from it. I'll
There's a
stay
lot of
home.
things in the ocean that are not okay. I mean, and it gets worse every year. Like I said, I was born and raised in like the St. Petersburg, Pinellas area, that little peninsula, and just every year with hurricanes and sharks and monsters and flesh-eating amoebas, brain-eating amoebas. You got like mosquitoes. You have just everything. It's just like a battle just to survive. So, how hard is it? Like, I love the golf. I do love the golf, and I love like the sand and everything. I actually share the golf now. If I can get out to Galveston here, it's within 4 or 5 hours. I would like to revisit the golf, but
Yeah, I've
it's
been to
it's a
golf.
body of water. There's a lot of horrible things in that, and I can't swim, so just right there is
We'll
terrifying to
just
me.
drive down the strip so you can see both sides, and you're good. I mean, I did that. That was a lot more fun, a lot safer. Although
Yeah, and
Florida
like those
traffic is
cruises, I don't think I
deadly.
could ever do one of those cruises. I feel like the whole time I'd be like, it's something's happening, guys. There's the Kraken is in here. There's like a new species of shark no one's ever discovered. There's flesh-eating flying piranhas with wings.
Well,
It's gonna
piranhas
be.
were the one that scared me as a kid more than sharks. I watched piranhas as a kid, and ever since then, I mean, those scared the hell out of me. They scared me more than sharks. There's something about that.
I'm
But
scared too.
you got some questions, so I'll go through this. You obviously passionate about creating
I
too, and
can't see anything, so thank you.
oh, you can see it. Okay, see,
No, I
that's
can't
weird.
see any. I'm so sorry, guys. Like my phone, I can't see anything.
Okay,
I'm zeroed in on John right now. John has to be my interpreter.
I will. I will. And do you need sign language too with it, or just read it?
I mean, interpretive dance usually
You don't
helps.
want me. I'd be like that big sign language person because I don't know too much other than bathroom. My guys let me know about that. But what's as an actress, what's your proudest performance you've done so far?
Oh, I don't really know because everything I've done, I've always walked away with something that's meant a lot to me. Um, I actually don't think I've gotten to that point where, as an actress, there's something that I would say is like a milestone just because everything has meant a lot to me, but it's not been something where I felt like, something where I could say that I just really blew everything up. Oh, I'm going to touch the low battery button.
Oh,
Um, I can't rightfully say that something would kind of stand out more than the other because I've done so many things that I'm proud of, so many things that were like a milestone for me, so many things that meant a lot to me. So it's hard to just say that something was more than the other at this point. Um, and I think maybe my best is yet to come. I actually did something for a film called Kukui Man where I was dying and I had a son that we had an interaction with, and I just was very emotional and it just came so naturally. And no pink hair, no makeup, just very raw and very upsetting. And I think once I see the footage for that one, maybe I could answer the question with that one because
so the
it
best
felt
is yet to come. You
it
just
felt
never
so
know.
raw. It didn't feel
Yeah.
like, and it was so unexpected and last minute that I think that one's going to be really very special to me, but I can't say for sure because again, everything has a reason and a rhyme for me. So I wouldn't, they're all my children, like Freddie
They're
would say.
all my children now.
Exactly. So I can't really say that. They're all very personal, important to me, everything that I've ever done. So, but I would check out if that comes out, where I can kind of announce it as soon as I can. Once that happens, I think that one, but you're going to see me very, very vulnerable and very dying and very elderly.
So it's a
So,
different kind of role for you. It's something a little
yeah.
bit out of your box that you're used to, but it was something
Yes.
really you didn't realize you'd be as passionate about the
Yeah.
role as you kind of sound like you are and eager to see what
It's different because I didn't even look, I didn't even want to see what I looked like. I just did it naturally.
you
I didn't get any of that in my head about, it just really was raw. It was the most raw thing I've ever done as far as not knowing what I was doing or how it was going to come across or how I was going to look. And it was just acting. It was very purely acting, whereas sometimes you're kind of like thinking, you're in your head. I didn't have time for that. So, and it was very, everybody cried. So if you can make everybody in the room cry, then obviously that's a good time.
yeah,
So
yeah. If you can make them cry or laugh, and I think crying is very much harder than laughing to make
it's
someone.
harder for me because I'm just so fun loving and like happy. And, if someone's crying and I want to comfort them, and I was just like, cry, keep crying, please.
You
So
want something to cry about.
exactly, cry about it.
But Dean also asked, he asked that last question, but this is a great question because it's one of my favorite games. It actually was like the first three-dimensional game I ever played in it. I didn't know anything about it. I could go on about this game. Resident Evil 1 on
Yes.
PlayStation 1. I bought a PlayStation to play Madden football at the time. My kid was on her way and I needed something to do after work while I was home. And I bought one, and the guy's like, "Try this game, Resident Evil." No, we didn't have the internet and stuff, so I was like, "All right." I had no idea what the game was, and I walked into it blind. And then when the zombie turns around, I was like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Oh my god,
Huge.
I am in!" And it was the hardest game I ever played. But yeah, I love the original Resident Evil game, and yeah, it's a lot of films, zombie films. Well, you could go back to Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead, that were influenced by that. But was a lot of films after Resident Evil that
Yeah.
definitely inspired um, by that kind of film. Even the remakes of things like Dawn of the Dead remake kind of had a more of a Resident Evil 5. I'd say it was close to Resident Evil than it was, say, other than the mall, than the original in its sense, because it was
Yeah.
very difficult. I love both of them. I love the original and the remake. But yeah, World War Z, you name it, a
They
lot of it.
they all have very integral pieces that make it work, and that you like you said, you could have a discussion on so many of the aspects that people would hold near and dear, or they would see that they would gravitate towards. But it's hard because they're so similar, and they take a lot of things, and they piece it together and kind of include it. But there's so many different moving parts that you could also break down and take with you too.
Yeah, I completely agree. Now we got another question, a good one, because you're a Nightmare on Elm Street fan. Um, I don't even want to try to GZ Doctor Forever. We'll just call it.
Hi.
And this is on Twitch, which I don't usually don't get a lot from Twitch, so it's pretty
Oh,
cool.
cool. I love it. I like to learn more about Twitch. I always
Yeah,
wanted
me too. I don't even think I know how to log back on it, but I
to, I
got
don't
it
know
on my
anything.
StreamYard, so I always put it
It
on.
asked me a
Everybody,
lot of questions and I didn't know how to go back on, so I just didn't do it.
yeah, I'm still learning too. I'm a little slow when it comes to it, but asking about the Nightmare on Elm Street remake with Jackie Earl Haley. Now I have a different kind of take on that. And did you dislike the series and the original? It was hinted but not proven. The essay of the kids, the remake, blah, blah. We know about that. I think it was always implicated in the
Oh yeah,
series,
I feel it
and
was.
I think it was going to be more in the original, but it didn't happen because there was an incident of that going on when the
Yeah.
movie, and it was, and it kind of stopped. But I mean, that was always kind of hinted at with it, and I think it kind of grew past it. I don't think people focused on it, not like it is now. Things were different back then. People didn't just
Oh
like
yeah.
focus on it. But yeah, I mean, that's an uncomfortable thing in a sense, no matter what you say about Nightmare on Elm Street. But that's what horror's supposed to be, in my opinion. It's got to make you uncomfortable.
I
And
think that like in the remake, it had a place for it. I love the way the lead actress was different. It was a completely different movie for me, honestly. I didn't even view it as part of the series, if
that's
you
how
want my
I
honest
try to see
opinion.
it. Once you, and it's even like with the Rob Zombie Halloween, and I love that. as well, and I'm a big Carpenter fan.
But I see them as different. I can't,
Yeah,
my
I
mind
don't see it
doesn't
as
really associate them
a.
completely as the same universe.
I was more bothered by Halloween Ends than I was
Oh
by
God.
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 because it was a different universe, or even the first one. And I liked both of them. I mean, the second one at Rob Zombies, there was issues, but I'm a big Jackie Earl Haley fan. So I thought he
I
did a
am
great,
too.
great job with what he was asked to do. And I didn't love the look, but he's a great performer. And when you take it away from the original series, because nobody can replace that, nobody can replace Robert.
No, not
Um,
at all.
but I didn't hate it as much. Like people passionately hate that movie, and I
Agreed.
don't find it that like unbearable to watch. I know some people have an issue with the essay thing, and I totally get that, and I
Yeah.
can understand that. But I never really focused on that. I focused on the performance and I mean, you're talking about a guy who goes to kids in their dreams and stuff like that.
Well,
There's,
I
I mean,
think
you're
in
gonna have to say something.
part six to me was very disturbing when he is in human form. You see him and he's choking out the daughter's mom. To
Yeah,
me, that scene, I can't even watch it. It's very upsetting for me. That very quick exchange. So I think that, touching on that subject matter that was without, in and of the series, I think it's also hard because we did grow a love for a serial killer somehow. So it's hard to see, some of these more topics coming into play and discussing that with someone that we ended up kind of like rooting for. Unfortunately, I feel like with the Nightmare series, something that I didn't personally feel affected by, but I know some people felt desensitized and didn't really um, connect with some of the characters. They were ready for the next very descriptive death sequence, which I wrote that in my middle school stories. I was more
yeah,
kind of involved with a creative death and stuff like that. But we lost a sense with some of these characters. So, you also end up rooting for the villain. And I know in Friday the 13th, that's another thing. And also the Halloween series, we start to lose sight of these characters and we start to root for the villain. So when you put more emphasis on the dark side of the villain, it can also put a different perspective on the entertainment value as well. It makes a different thing, which is why on some of these remakes, I view them completely different. To me, especially growing up and loving these films, there's a point where, I associate it with growing up and I associate the series where I do. But a remake or a reimagining or a fan film can be amazing, but also I feel like I keep them kind of compartmentalized, separately from the series where I had that kind of standpoint with what it meant to me.
and that makes sense. I mean, it's so when you're talking horror and you're talking different things or anything. I mean, it's so subjective. But
Yeah.
I think when you get uncomfortable in a horror film, that's what makes a horror film for me. It's like you said, even a bad dream. Being uncomfortable about things and kind of dealing with it almost, I think, in a sense, helps some people.
Well, the times change too, and so the subject matters change. The topics that people are comfortable or what they're uncomfortable with or what they want to interject or how you would carry on a series, what you would put in there to make it not so much fresh, but to make it, continue on with whatever you're going along with. I mean, they started with a very clear picture in the beginning. Sometimes directors change hands, writers change hands, obviously. Editors, cast, crew, everybody changes hands. So you're going to get different visions that are going to mean different things at different times for
Yeah,
people. But everyone who loved it from the beginning is going to have a different interpretation too. And I'm not one of those folks that says, "Oh, I don't want to see a prequel. I don't want to see a remake." I never say that. I'm happy to see something that I care about having something, and you could go, "Oh, it's a cash grab." But for me, I'm just happy to be in that universe again. Whether I think they're directly connected, it's another imagination, but it's in a universe that I hold dearly as a fan. So I'm open to discussion, but um, I will agree with the fact that there's a lot of different interpretations and things that can happen, and you can lose sight, and it'll lose some kind of fan base and value that people initially had. But for folks that just are looking, whenever I go to a movie, and I try to see every horror movie, honestly, that comes out when it comes out on in theaters as I can on the big screen. I want to see what those people are doing. It takes a team to pull it together, and they have a vision. And I just like to be in that space for however long they have me in there when I buy my ticket.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like going to the movies still because that's
Same.
the time I can actually concentrate, which is really, really cool. And the experience is just so much better. I mean, if you
Yeah.
everything's so right at your fingertips now, and there's so much, it becomes overwhelming that when you go to a movie theater, it's like, all right, my phone's got to be up. You can't call me, and I can actually sit and enjoy a film. And I've been able to see some good ones. Unfortunately, horror films are tough with what I'm doing because I'm kind of like a parent in my job where it's like, well, I got to make sure there's no booby scenes and stuff and this and that,
Yeah.
a little bit. I feel like my parents now, and I guess I should. I'm almost 50. But
There's a charm to that too.
yeah, well, it's hard for me to get out and do it. Like I wanted to see the Fuzz on the Lens stream movie when it came out, but I couldn't get out
Okay,
there when
wow.
I was in the theater because I had to work.
I
And
missed Bambi the Reckoning. That's the last one I missed.
oh, that sounds good though. I got to check. But here's a good question. And we're gonna wrap it up soon because we're at like 50 minutes
It
now.
was so easy to get here, though.
I know it
You
was.
have
I
to have
could
me on
go.
again for
Well,
part
we're
two.
definitely gonna have to do that, and we'll get you on with Keith. Maybe we can get you on with Jen and some of the other ladies that are gonna be
That'd be
coming to
awesome.
Slash and Bash. We could
And
do
thank
something
you,
together.
Keith. When you watch this, and you inevitably will watch this
You
because these
better watch
are
it.
up.
But
Shout out.
this is actually a good question to kind of end, or go towards the end. What are some of the favorite darkest bleak horror films you've seen, and what are your favorite feel good fun horrors?
I tend to like things that are kind of bleak. Um, Martyrs is one of my favorite. I think there's something to be said about things that don't have a happy ending. To me, I don't like happy endings sometimes because I want to feel what people are going through. Um, so I would say that sometimes I look for things that are a little bit on the darker side because of the nature of the beast and just the tone. A lot of foreign horror films for me, for sure, um, are able to really bring that out of me. Like Inside's another one.
Yeah,
The lighting in that one. There's a scene with she's on the sofa, and I believe Beatrice Dahl is behind her. It's just like a silhouette, and it's just very scary to me. That's another one. High Tension's another one I really love. Um, I do love Mirrors. You guys are gonna laugh at me for that one, but I love Mirrors because I think Mirrors is a great subject matter for portals to the soul, portals to the undead. Also, that jaw ripping scene is just phenomenal. Um, I do like some lighter ones too. I just rewatched Army of Darkness, which has always been one of my favorites. So
yeah, I saw
there's
that in
some
the
things that I
theater.
enjoy for a good time as far as like having fun and watching something. But as far as dark subject matter, I would say a lot of my favorite films are included in foreign horror for darkness. I love
Yeah,
all
they don't
kinds
pull the
of.
punches. They don't have the happy endings, and
They
even
don't. They don't.
American
They
horror
don't.
movies
There's
always
not
have that.
ambiguous either. They don't give you even an idea that it's going to be funny or happy or whatever. Even with Mirrors, because it was a remake. They do. It's just bleak still in the end. I'm not going to spoil it. It's still bleak in the ending, even when they did the reimagining of that. Asian horror is another huge one of mine. I mean, I could go on and on. I have
Korean
a
zombie
whole
films are
Asian
great.
Tart and Extreme collection. That's the only thing, that and Junji Ito mangas and stuff like that. Those are the only two things I collect. So that tells you kind of my mindset on things being a little bit bleak and a little bit darker. But I do like happy though. I love 80s horror. I'm a 80s baby. I'm hugely a fan of a lot of these films that I've got Return of the Living Dead 3 right here, Return of the Living Dead there. I have a lot of things I
Got
love.
Return of the Living Dead
Hence,
right there.
see,
You need it.
Julie from Return of the Living 3 is my favorite because she's a Julie, and that's
Yep.
something real quick before I go. As a kid, I don't know
That's an
why Julie
underrated.
was
That's
so
an
popular,
underrated
but
film, though. I like that movie too. Return of the Living Dead 3. That's a good one.
it's amazing. I'll
Yeah,
never forget when I first watched it and I heard Julie and she had the red hair. I mean, my
yeah.
piercings. I modeled myself after her, after Melinda Clark in that film, and Shirley Manson from Garbage. So if you want to know where my style came from, you can reference Return of the Living Dead 3 and Garbage. So
She was just at Scarefest, not last year, the year before.
I would love to meet her. She's one that I have not met. And oh my gosh, I'd be so happy. I have a
I didn't
great
get a chance to meet her either, and I really wanted to as well. If we did get 100 guests there, it's hard to, and when you're a vendor as
I
well,
can't
it's so
imagine.
hard. Yeah, but I love Return of the Living Dead 3 as well.
I got a cool shirt off of this place called Macari, and it was like an original Return of the Living Dead 3 shirt. And it was size like, I don't know, some size that was just like, something that I will be altering. But I was so happy to find it. And I love anything that I love, like Chopping Mall's another one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Anything that I can find. I'm wearing a Frankenhooker shirt right now. But
very cool.
anything I can find, I will chop it up and I will reimagine it. But I was so excited when I found that because she was my inspiration as a kid for sure. And then Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3
Yeah.
on the campier side, those are other favorites of mine.
Yeah, those were good ones. I mean, Felissa Rose wasn't there. As a kid, I didn't realize as much because I have terrible face recognition, but yeah, I know now. But I loved all the sleepaway camps. The first one, the end reveal, definitely always as a kid, and it's another one of those things where it's just different times. It just the face she made and the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, it was
It's like,
dark. It was
yeah,
that was serious, and the other two were not serious. I mean,
yeah,
they had brutal deaths, and it was something where it stuck with me as a kid. Maybe that's why I wrote my own death scenes for my classmates, these creative things. It stuck with me because it was so creative. But they do not hold the same weight as the first one. They are not in that same, again, I kind
And
of grew
Sleepaway
up
Camp's kind
against
of a
those
good bleak
too.
horror film, though. Like the question asked, that's a good bleak one because it didn't have a happy ending at all. It
Yeah,
was a
no.
very disturbing ending. That was one of the most
Right?
holding a kid's head and smiling and that face. And, oh man, that scared the
He
hell out
did
of me
pay
as a kid.
attention to her, but that's what he got. And it's
Yeah,
again, children, they were in there and they were getting picked off. It was
yeah,
very realistic.
it
And
was.
I went back and watched that again not too long ago, and it's a classic and it is very dark. It's very scary. It's a lot scarier
Well,
even when you go back and
the
watch
first
it.
kill, well, I don't. It wasn't really the first kill, but the chef when he got burned, that freaked me
Ooh,
out as
yeah,
a
that
kid.
was for the times too. I don't
Yeah.
know how that would be received these days, but he got what he deserved for all
Oh, he
purposes.
definitely did. He
And
definitely
he should
did.
have deserved, he should have got more, but that movie, it definitely is groundbreaking for sure. The other two, well, three,
They were
all
fun.
of them are a lot more
I didn't
fun.
even realize they made a four until recently.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hadn't seen it. I don't
you got
think
to
it
go
got
down the rabbit
released.
hole.
Melissa's in the fourth one though, isn't she? I think.
Yes, and I won't give away why, but she is.
Yeah,
There
I
is a
haven't had a
twist.
chance to see it. I'm gonna have to check that out. But what a great time. We're gonna do this again.
Yes, let's
We'll
go.
get all you ladies on, and we'll talk some more
I
slash
love
and
that.
dash. We'll get Keith on, and we'll talk about some of the things that you guys got planned and some of the indie films you guys were going to be playing there, and
Thank
what
you.
kind of fun we'll be having. And
It'll be great.
I look forward to seeing your next live. And tell Will I said hi, and thank you, Tony.
Absolutely.
Tony's out there in the chat. Tony Toth.
Thank you guys.
All you guys who joined in, my longtime friend. Yes, 43 years ago, Friday the 13th, Part 2 played tonight. And
Wow.
yeah,
That's amazing. I might have to put that on just out of
I love
actually
Sackhead Jason. I think
respect.
it's underrated. I do love Sackhead Jason.
I actually have a lot to say about that too. I have a lot of respect for him too.
Yeah.
It's something. I mean, that's his. The mask didn't come until the next one. So
Well, the town that dreaded sundown. It was definitely a ripoff of that, but it worked. It worked.
hey,
It
we drove
worked.
through Texarkana, and I made a pit stop just for that purpose when we moved here.
Well, you got to. I've never been to Texas. That's a place I want to go for a con soon. I'm actually going to be going to Las Vegas for the first time in January.
Oh,
So I'm
Vegas is
excited.
great too.
Yeah, I've never done that. I'm gonna just be real careful because I like poker a lot. I don't like to
Oh
gamble,
my.
but I like
It's going to
poker.
be in the gas stations, the grocery store, everywhere you stop. It's going to
I'm not
get
a
you.
gambler though. Like slot machines and stuff don't do it, but I love Texas Hold'em. You get a Texas Hold'em table, I gotta sit at that.
I lived in Vegas for several years and it's fun. I wasn't a huge gambler, but I would go and I would do like the quarter slots and just do whatever, and I would clock out if I made like a round of drinks or something like that. It's a fun atmosphere though. It's really nice.
Yeah, I was reading, so you can't see it, so I was reading some of the final
I
messages,
can't
but
see.
I know. Well, next time I'll read it. I'll now that I know,
I need a
read
narrator.
them out loud a little bit more for you. Yeah, I'll make sure. But again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, Julie. Thank you for coming on. It was great
Thank
for us to
you.
finally talk, and we'll do it
Thank you
again.
so much.
And I don't know when the next show will be. I guess when I feel like it. So I'll
Got
keep
it.
you guys updated. It's been so crazy busy. It's not that I haven't wanted to. It's like just
No,
more
I understand
exhausted.
completely.
But we will keep you updated. We'll have Carl Toop on soon. I know Joe Castro's coming on soon.
Oh,
And
that's great.
yeah, so we got some really cool shows coming, and we'll figure out some cool stuff and do something fun. So until next time.
Well, thank you guys, and please check out my page. You can check out my IMDb, and also I am doing a campaign right now for my next film for Bed and Rotting that I'm directing. Check that out if you want to come work with me. If you want to work one on one with me, there are some opportunities. And thank you guys for watching. And if anyone wants to message me, I appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for having me on here.
More than welcome. It was a lot of fun. The hour went by real quick.
It went by so fast. It's so
It,
crazy.
it did. So we'll have to get another hour in soon, like we
A
said.
2 hour tour.
Yeah, we'll do a 2 hour tour.
2 hour tour.
2 hour tour. But all right. Well, guys, thanks again, and we will keep you updated. And peace out.
Thank you. Bye.